Hi there, I'm Dene Botha, and I'm going to be talking to you today about how to future-proof the next generation. So, our children, the next generation, are currently being taught the lessons that we learned to build a world that no longer exists. It's no secret that the 21st century's education system is pretty outdated, as it was originally designed for the demand of the industrial age. It teaches children to do what they're told to do. Keep quiet, don't ask questions, find the answers alone. The required output during these difficult times were things like patience and silence and obedience. Now, we as parents and educators obviously want our children to have unique personalities, interests and opinions. However, there's often nothing very personal about education. The objective of it is to prepare one for the world of work. And this is unfortunately where it becomes a bit of a numbers game. I mean, if you look at school level personality tests, really, you're going to tell me that my child is one of 4 types of people? Wow, that's pretty demotivating if you ask me. I really hope he's in the Gryffindor group. In all seriousness, these tests are very useful in the world of HR, but I don't quite see how we can compartmentalize young people into defined groups and educate them according to their label if we want to inspire them to freely express themselves and excel at whatever it is that they choose. It's like the scene from that popular 1998 animated movie Ants, where the queen ant identifies what her children are to do for the rest of their lives simply by looking at them. She kind of gets handed an ant and she goes, worker, gatherer, and she puts a hat on, cook, that kind of thing. Now, please don't get me wrong, the education system does teach a lot of what's needed in order to survive, but the curriculum needs the topping up of topics that are completely overlooked yet vitally important to thrive. I mean, understand this. The rate of change our kids are experiencing is a lot steeper curved than we ever did. It's a lot broader. The world is changing at such a rapid pace that it's practically been made up as we go along. Think about how many jobs and careers there are available now that weren't even imaginable 5-10 years ago. Now do the same looking forward, 5 or 10 years from now. Can you imagine what the world of work will look like then? What careers, jobs and opportunities will be on offer in the future? So education is there to prepare one for this. During the industrial age, the silent generation before 1945, the world needed factory and office workers, and the education system was formed to create the output for that demand. During Generation X, 65 to 76, the world demanded doctors, accountants, lawyers, and architects. And these industries became the success industries of the adults of that generation. For the next generations, millennials, Gen Z, and beyond, well, anything's possible. At present, you could become a billionaire through buying and selling pieces of invisible code on a blockchain and storing them in your crypto wallet. Don't even get me started on NFTs and the future of that. I mean, the mind actually boggles as to where we could go next. But here's the important bit. Young people nowadays see their role models living it up on YouTube and social media, proudly showcasing their journeys to success and prosperity through non-conformative measures. And these young people are completely aware that they aren't being taught any of these skills in school, college or university. The skills that allow them to live these aspirational and influential lives like their idols. And they're right. They see and want instant gratification. If they are to be truly inspired, education needs to be presented in the form of fast absorption, practical implementation, and providing them with a powerful advantage resulting in explosive success. It's that instantaneousness that they want. If we go back to the basics, the word education is derived from the Latin word educatio. I hope I'm not butchering that. It means to induce, to draw out, to develop from within. Therefore, educated people aren't necessarily actually the smartest of people. They simply know where to get the knowledge they require, how to organize it, and then how to put it into action. So if we look at the demand, the world of work, we'll also notice that the skills that are required have changed. Skills nowadays that are needed are problem solving, self-management, curiosity, creativity, empathy, and working remotely. As employers, many of us aren't actually bothered if the job applicant gets an A, B, or C on their final paper. We're more interested in how they present themselves, who they are, their digital footprint, and their ability to get the job done. There's a strong chance you may never in fact physically meet some of your employees. So we don't really care if they're wearing pajama bottoms at the Monday morning meeting, just as some of us possibly are now. We just need to trust that they can and will do, say what they can and will do. So here's a question. If you were to look back at your transitional years between teenager and adult, what are some of the core skills you wish you were taught to better prepare you for this modern world? Confidence, perhaps? Communication skills and building relationships? How about decision making? How about how to find a job, negotiate a decent salary, secure a place to rent, and then live on your own away from your parents? What about dealing with failure or remaining positive during difficult and uncertain times? I know that if I could go back and speak to my teenage self, I'd have some pretty wise advice to give younger Dean regarding the things that I wish I'd been taught. I mean, using myself as an example, I'm a relatively successful entrepreneur. I'm a coach, a speaker, forex trader, and a university lecturer, and a Guinness World Record holder. Yet I dropped out of school when I was 15. So according to society, I'm actually what's known as an uneducated person. I, however, was fortunate enough to be taught a bunch of these skills as a young person. However, I do regret not finishing school or going on and getting a college degree. I know that would have given me a little bit more direction and focus and, I don't know, possibly shave 5 or 10 years off my search to finding my purpose and ultimately my success. So it's about the balance, ladies and gentlemen. We need both. We can't go back to the past, but we can address the future. We can open up the communication and listen to our younger selves. We can listen to our children. Young people nowadays, they want to be heard, hence the popularity of social media, where everyone has a voice and everyone's famous. Us, the older generation, well, we had 4 directions available to us after school. 1, get a job. 2, start your own business. 3, take a gap year, if you were so fortunate. Or 4, study further. Or 5, marry someone rich. No, I'm just kidding, that's not really an option. Well, it is, but it's not really. So anyway, the future generation, however, they have the same 4 options, but they don't only have to choose one of those 4 options. They can and will take several of them simultaneously if they want. The biggest difference between then and now is quite simply this invisible wire that has been placed around the earth connecting us all. It's the internet, it's information, it's connectivity. The world is bigger than it's ever been, but smaller at the same time. We're more separated but closer than ever before. Now, according to my organization's research, which has worked with over 60,000 young people globally, the youth want the skills, tools, and belief for a life of prosperity. 1, wealth, money, yes, but a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of opportunity, a wealth of memorable experiences throughout their lives. 2, health, not just physical, emotional, mental, spiritual health. 3, happiness, being content, living life in the present moment and feeling joy and satisfaction. And number 4, success. Personal and professional. The success of scoring your first goal in a football match or owning a Fortune 500 company. Wealth, health, happiness, and success. Combine those 4 together and you'll get your prosperity. If I were in school and I heard that those topics or similar ones were being added to the curriculum, I would be excited and inspired. Wouldn't you? Again, there are many of you already addressing this notion within the PSHE framework and of course the Gatsby benchmarks, etc., etc. This needs to be acknowledged and applauded. Let us use this foundational momentum and inspire those setting up the curriculum to update it in order to support our young people to go on and live prosperous and fulfilling lives. As educators and parents, our job is to focus our efforts on equipping young people with the skills to lead themselves into an unknown world and to be prosperous in it. They need to find solutions to problems that don't even exist yet. So then the question is this: how does one navigate entering the unknown? With courage, with strength, with self-belief. I believe we should take a modern approach to modern education and harmonize the teachings. I believe we should educate them on confidence as well as calculus, authenticity as well as accounting, leadership as well as law, gratitude as well as geography. The system isn't broken, ladies and gentlemen. It's just outdated. To future-proof the next generation, we need to ensure that they are being taught a hybrid of modern, holistic, global, and inspirational education. There are simply more versions of success available now than there's ever been, and the required output has and will continue to change. Thank you very much.